All right, man, let's do this. Let's get my screen back to normal here if I've screwed it up. Let's take a couple questions from the Patreon group. Another perk to being in our Patreon group. If you guys want to join it, just go to patreon.com/PackerFan Total Access or scan the QR code in the upper right. We got a questions for the show tab, one of the many perks in there, and you can kind of get your voice heard here on the pod, on the live stream on YouTube, which also we're on Rumble, X, Facebook, whatever platform you prefer. First question or comment. J. Cole says, in Todd McShay's latest mock, he has the Browns trading up to 15 with Atlanta to pick Shedeur Sanders. How would you all feel if Shedeur was there at 23 and we traded with them for pick 33 and maybe pick 67? So we're talking about trading back 10 spots here, Tim, and then picking up the 67th pick. I got to be honest, man, on the surface there, that doesn't sound too bad. I know it's technically a second round pick, but being the first pick of the second round and then picking up the 67th pick as well, man, that sounds pretty good. What do you think, man?
Yeah, on the surface, right? And it also, relies heavily on Shedeur being there at 23. That's a huge part of this. But I think there's also reason to believe that, believe it or not, maybe Cleveland doesn't want Shedeur Sanders. You never know. I mean, they just signed Joe Flacco, right? I mean, come on now. Do you really need any other help at quarterback? I'm totally joking, by the way. But I do see what you mean. It's like, on the surface, you're like, oh, you're trading out of the first, but it's like just barely. And look at the draft capital that you're going to get with a deal like that. But I would just think that it's contingent on Shedeur being there at 23, which it's not out of the realm of possibility that it could happen. There's no guarantee that he's going to go top 10 or whatever. So I would agree on the surface. It's a lot of draft capital right there with a move like that.
Yeah, definitely. H.E. Solder says, got to get Sanders past Pittsburgh to get him to 23. The other one are the Saints. Where are the Saints at? Help me out in the chat, guys. Where are the Saints picking? Because that's the latest buzz is the Saints may be all over Shedeur Sanders as well. So look at this. J. Cole says Todd McShay had Hunter and Sanders going to the Browns. That's very interesting there. So there you go. 9 is what they're saying. Okay. Appreciate it there. B-Time 10 and J. Cole both said not pick is where the Saints are for Evan Farley as well. So, yeah, so it, like Solder was saying, it holds true there, right? You gotta get him past Pittsburgh, to make it to where we could pick up there. So, let's see here. What else we got in the chat? Chris N says, I can't remember if you guys have talked about Xavier Watts. Maybe you have. If there was one safety I could see pairing with McKinney, it would be him. 2 true single high guys, interchangeable in my opinion. I don't want Goot to burn a pick on a safety, but if he has to, I hope it's Watts, even with a slightly lower RAS. What are your thoughts? Tim, what's your thoughts on Xavier Watts here on the surface, man? And I'll take a look on our big board and kind of explain what we've got him valued at.
Jumping off the board on PFF here. For sure. Graded out 89.7 last year. Doesn't look like he's missed a lot of action in the last 3 seasons. Number of slot snaps he's able to play down in the slot as well as in the box. So, yeah, a lot to like about him. I had taken a few glances at safety in this draft as well. Not just Malachi Starks, but a few other guys. And Xavier Watts is definitely one of those top tier names. I think Chris N has got a valid point here. If you're going to burn a pick on a safety, right? Like this is a guy that, and let's be honest, the RAS isn't horrendous, right? He's just under a 7. So it's nothing to panic about at all. And, the biggest red flag there you see is just his height. He doesn't control that. And a lot of these other things, you can work on. You can make yourself faster, believe it or not, you can. And there's a lot of reason to believe that if you're gonna go ahead and pick a safety, Xavier Watts should be on the list. I wonder where he is on our big board.
I've got it right here, Tim. We got Malachi Starks in the 23 spot. He's the top safety. Then we got Nick Emenwore, which just absolutely dominated the combine. He's in the 32 spot. Then we've got Xavier Watts in the 36 spot. So
okay.
Now here, you guys know I try to stay away from talking about Notre Dame guys, but as you can see here, there's 5 replies to Chris N's comment and the questions for the show. If you guys are in a Patreon group, climb in there. I posted a link kind of telling a little background story about Xavier Watts' upbringing. teammates, I'm telling you, Tim, they would walk through fire for this guy. Team captain, extremely high football IQ, very, very smart off the field, very respectable guy. His dad has been somewhat of a paraplegic pretty much his entire life. I think when his mom was pregnant with him, his dad, I can't remember if it was a gang shooting or something, and it kind of changed his dad's life, but he ended up getting paralyzed from the waist down, I believe it is. And just seeing the stuff that family overcame. And if you go watch Here Come the Irish on Peacock, it's about Notre Dame, but you get a lot of that story behind the scenes with Xavier Watt. Again, if you go to those replies there in the Patreon group, you'll see that link where it's just a quick 5-minute video that I think Home Depot had sponsored for a part of College Game Day or something. Really, he's one of those dudes he's a locker room guy. And to me, though, Tim, it would need to be 54 for me to be happy about it. But if Goody was to take him at 23, then it means, hey, we maybe aren't as high on Evan Williams as we thought we were, or Xavier Watts is just the dude. And that's the thing. Greg Cosell locked him. We give him a 3-point bonus from Greg Cosell. Obviously, RAS didn't give him any bonuses, but just to kind of compare it across the board, Daniel Jeremiah's initial top 50 had him 32. Kyle Krabs and the 33rd team had him 25th. Dane Brugler had him 46th. So we've got him pretty much right in the middle of all those, rankings there. So that's how I would see it, though, Tim. I would think 54 would feel like a slam dunk, but 23 a little too rich for me. What do you think, man?
I agree. Not just for the position group consideration, but just also the player that we're getting, right, and the depth we have there already. One could argue even 54 you might not want to see.
Right.
You might not want to see Watts if you're a Packer fan, but I put my trust in our front office, man. I really do. And if they were to go grab him, clearly he's high on their board, and for good reason. Like you said, I mean, the tail is in the tape, and the RAS score should not scare you away. I really don't think it should. And I like what Chris N is saying. Like, can you imagine? We got double X back there. We got two Xaviers back there, playing safety. That'd be pretty interesting, to say the least. And I think what he's saying is you can tell that Xavier Watts would be a guy that would definitely complement Xavier McKinney's game. So we'll have to see, but I would agree. I don't think they're going to take a first round shot at him. I really don't.
Yeah. MG Toe Legion in the chat says, first rounds for D tackle, please. Hey, we're on board with you, bro. We're on board with you. If the board falls right, that's what I'd like to see. There's just so many good 3-techs in this draft. And, if you take one at 23, you're going to have, I wouldn't say the pick of the litter, but you're going to be able to get one of those guys you feel really, really, really good about, as opposed to, all right, this guy was 5th or 6th best, but it is a deep draft, so he should be a good player. You know what I mean? Kind of that's what you're going to be weighing out. And cornerback is that's what's most interesting to me, man, is it thins out so quick after the first couple of rounds that, again, you don't want to reach for need, but you want to try to position yourself, whether it's a trade back or something along those lines, that you might want to try to nab a corner. Then you can still get a good 3-tech. You can still get a good offensive lineman. You feel a little bit better about that.
Feel real good about picking up Nate Hobbs in free agency, right? Makes Goody look like a genius when you look at corners in this draft, like you just said. It's nice to have kind of an ace up your sleeve right now.
No, completely agree, man. Completely agree. All right, so there you go with that question. I think, do we have one more? Yeah, H.E. Solder in the Patreon questions for the show says, you're sitting at 23. You can't find a team that's willing to move up. Which position would you consider reaching for, because the value will be hollowed out by the time 54 comes around? I think we just answered that question, Tim.
Yeah, I was going to say probably corner.
Yeah, that's definitely corner, Solder, for me on the surface. Now, again, Will Johnson may fall. Jahdae Barron may fall. I don't see it. But if those two guys fall and you've got your pick between those two and Savon Rebel, man, that's you get kind of your pick of the litter there. That would be absolutely awesome. And you got to weigh out Will Johnson and Savon Rebel's injury concerns, right, along with Jahdae Barron and what he brings to the table. To me, I feel better. Our board says Will Johnson's the better corner, but I feel a lot better about drafting Jahdae Barron than I do Will Johnson. So that makes sense. But yeah,
I would agree with that.
All right. So there you go. Questions for the show. Appreciate everybody. Again, if you want to join the Patreon group, just scan the QR code in the upper right or go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. It's filling up quick. The next giveaway we're going to do is we're going to be giving away an autographed rookie Sean Ryan card. We're doing the autographed rookie Catano Ladapo card this evening. But if you go ahead and join, you'll get yourself entered into that next. We're going to be doing a bunch of giveaways for the draft too. It's going to be a blast. So nice. Also, I keep forgetting to mention this, Tim. I'm going to go ahead and create the chat in the Patreon group for the draft day contest. Anybody who's a member in the Patreon group with $3 tiers, all you got to be, you get one shot in a mock draft. Just put your 7-round Green Bay Packer mock draft into that chat. It's going to be locked, so we can't have a conversation in there. I won't say locked. I'm going to delete comments out of there. People like respond and turn into a conversation. It needs to stay very organized. Okay, that's what we got the general chat, your favorite prospects, and all those different chats for. But it just needs to be a screenshot of your mock draft, and whoever gets closest to what the Packers does, then we're going to be doing a giveaway there. It might be like an autographed jersey or something. I think it'd be kind of cool to do something big. So, again, just a 7-round mock draft. You take a shot and see if you can get as close to what the Packers do. So you got to keep that in mind. It shouldn't be here's my favorite mock draft. It should be
what do you think we're going to do? Yeah,
exactly. So, yeah. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. If I forget, text me later on a text thread. I don't care if it's 2 a.m. because I know you're up late at night. You just say, "Hey, Clay, knucklehead, get that created over there in the chat."